Hi all. So here I sit, and as you can see in the background, all of my bookshelves are still empty. And that is because of the move that we may make. But that may change if I get the position that I have recently been told I qualify for. Now hopefully my ranking is high enough that I actually qualify for an interview, and then of course I hope that interview goes so well that I am the one chosen for the position. Then we won't have to move. And I can load all my books back on my shelf, and I can rearrange my room exactly as it needs to be so that it's most peaceful. I had at least 2, if not 3 naps today. I'm not quite certain why. I'm thinking my body is regenerating. As most of you know, from May, well, for about 10 months, I was driving 3 hours or longer and then working a 9-hour shift every day of the week, except for weekends. And so all during that time, I had to deal with other things regarding my husband's issues, which required paper trails and, getting information to the correct people and all of that. So I had to make time for that as well. So I think I'm recuperating. But I'm happy because, I'm not sleeping in the rain tonight. Blessings for all of those who are. May they not be too cold. Tomorrow I get up and I apply for my benefits for the week, and then I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do. I hear it's supposed to be pouring down rain, and of course I told my husband that I love the fact that he's doing the laundry, but I can't go out there because he's got certain things happening out there that aren't good for me. So I've asked him to fluff up the laundry with a little bounce sheet and just gently lay them over the back of the chair, and then I will fold them and put them away. I think he prefers it when I sit out of there anyway. He has a sign. It says man cave. I actually bought it for him. He really likes it. Now, I was once told quite some time ago that letting you see me for me, being transparent, is very important. That is why I'm doing this. Well, that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this. The other reason is because my husband doesn't talk to me very often, and therefore I like to talk to all of you. See, you're everywhere. All of you are everywhere. You're in Brazil, you're in Spain, you're in the Czech Republic, you're in Russia, you're in Poland, you're in Portugal. All of you are everywhere. And I'm not meaning to leave anybody out. It's just that I don't remember them all because there's so many places in the world. Turkey. Which, by the way, did you see that fantastic video about the music over there that they did on the mountain? Oh, it was so beautiful. Now, I like doing this, and I like posting videos like that because it brings us closer together and it makes us realize that each and every one of us are exactly the same. We live under different guidelines. There are different etiquettes. that are acceptable within the culture. But essentially, we are all the same. And I love showing that. And I love knowing that. And so I search for it. And I look for it. And when I see a video of a beautiful person, those Cobra people, oh my goodness gracious. You see what they do and how they live, and they just do it so naturally. You know? I mean, that's life. That's life. And what is life? You got it. Or shall I remind you? When the question was posed to so many people all over the world, what is God? Who is God? So many people said, oh, that's Jesus. Or that's Allah. Oh, that's Muhammad. Oh, that's Buddha. Oh, that's Krishna. Oh, I'll tell you what it is. God is life. That's pretty much the closest name you can give it. Because we, all of us, two-legged, four-legged, finned, winged, all of us make up this life. And we together are one. And that, even the universe is all part of that, you know? When you think about it, it's all part of it. So, that's my answer. And if I had to go on a TV show who said, hey, you'll win $1 million if you get this right. And if I said God is life and they said, oh, bing, you're wrong, then I would get up and walk right out and I'd say, oh, I'm sorry, but no. You can just keep your money. And even if I were right, you know, or if they gave me the money, then maybe I could give it to that man who makes sandwiches for all those people every night. Did you hear about him? Every night. That's how this man, he's got like 20 refrigerators in his apartment. And he goes and he buys bread. And he fills those refrigerators with bread and bologna or whatever, mayonnaise. And he makes sandwiches all day long. That's what he does, is he makes sandwiches. And all night long, he drives around in his van with these coolers full of sandwiches. And he gives them to the people on the street because he knows they have nothing to eat. And he has such a huge heart. And he has no furniture in his apartment. It's all refrigerators. It's amazing. This fellow is so incredible. I should look for that video for you and post it on my blog because that struck my heart chord so deeply. I mean, the kindness bubbling out of this man is just incredible. You know, he's older, and hopefully somebody will take his place one day with the same kindness and the same generosity. Maybe it'll be me, or maybe it'll be you. Do you know my friend that I told you that I've known for 30 years, my male friend? I lived with him for a little while, and he used to come home, and I'd be laying on the couch and the candles lit, and I'd have this music playing. He would be so upset. He would say, turn that off, it makes me feel like I'm in a funeral. And it's so funny because this music is so beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. see. Now this is why this family here could never live in an apartment. Because my Toby, he is on guard all the time. He barks at every sound. Now we've become accustomed to it. He's just doing his job, and he can't be in trouble for doing his job. He's a good boy. Doing his job. He was a stray when we adopted him. He was a starving stray. You could see every bone in his body. And for about a year and a half, he would eat dirt clods and dead sticks and dead leaves, and it's really quite sad. It took me about a year and a half of feeding him every morning and every night and letting him know that he was not going to miss a meal, that it was okay. Now he just guards his place like you wouldn't believe. I mean, this is his haven, and he is very protective of it. And I love him, and I just allow him to do it because he needs to. It's his job. Now, my Snowy, on the other hand, she came from the same shelter a year prior, and she has a shoe fetish. So every morning when I go to find if I don't put them up, it's so hilarious. Because if I don't put my shoes up, or my slippers, or whatever, I wake up in the morning and there's one. Usually only one. And I have to walk the entire house, look on all the beds, on all the furniture, and try to find the other one. Most times I'm successful, but sometimes I think she might take it out of the garage or something accidentally or whatever, and it gets out there somehow. But it's so funny, Or my nightgowns, she'll drag them around. When I'm working, she will pick up a nightgown and she will drag it with her to wherever it is she decides she's going to be laying. So I guess that means she loves me. It's good to be loved. I hope you were all loved just as much, or recognize it and appreciate it. When your dog steals your shoe and you have to spend 15 minutes looking for it, don't get mad. Just laugh. It's funny. It is. It's quite funny. It's like, I know a lot of women who have shoe fetishes. They must have this pair or that pair. And then they wear them once, and then they find out they hurt their feet, and they never wear them again. But they sit in the closet for the next 10 years collecting dust, rather than being given to Goodwill or somebody who could use them. It really kind of saddens me. But when my dog takes my shoe, I just know that means she loves me, and she wants the scent of me next to her. I've nearly run out of things to say for the moment, which doesn't happen very often. So I'm going to leave this as it is, and I will see you again soon. Because even though I don't see you, I know you see me. And that's communication. It's communication. Letting you see me here in the United States of America. Here I sit, and you may be in Brazil, or you may be in Russia, or somewhere else, but you see me. And this is how I am sitting, and this is how I am speaking, and this is how I look when I speak without distraction. And I'm truthful from my heart. Everything I say is real. And I'm not trying to get paid in any way. You know, they talk about advertisements on the internet, and they say some people may see advertisements at the bottom of my blog. I apologize about that, but they say that I have to pay money for for a site in order to opt out of that particular portion. And at this time, I haven't the money to spend monthly on that. So please forgive the advertisements if you do see them. And if you do see them and they have nothing to do with my blog, oh, how I hope you can at least block them somehow, or, click out of them or something. Well, anyhow, that's the way that goes. And I will see you next time. Good night.